Hi everybody, it's Miss Jackie with Botetourt County Libraries. Today we're going to do a mixed media piece, a half portrait. I'm hoping that you will do a portrait of your own and enter it into the Botetourt County Libraries art contest. The deadline has been extended for that through October 31st, 2020, so you still have plenty of time to do it. The link for the tutorial where I found this project will be under the Show More tab on the video, and I'm also going to show you a link to it in the video itself. To get started, we're going to need to fold a piece of paper. We're going to just take a piece of copy paper and fold this in half. We want to get the edges together and fold it down the middle and make a good crease. So we're going to fold it long ways like that. We're going to fold it end to end once more and make sure you have really good creases, just like that. And then we're going to fold it a third time. Again, getting the edges together where they should be. Now, once you've folded all that up like this, we're going to open it up. And when you open this up, you're going to be able to see the creases. You're going to use these creases as a guide to learn how to draw a half portrait. I'm going to show you the project that I finished and then step you through how I did this. This is just done on copy paper. The face is done on copy paper. The mask was done with copy paper, and I just cut out some words that I'd like to paste on there. The background is, excuse me, is construction paper. And then I'm going to show you how to make all this beautiful watercolored papers bits that I put on there. It looks like watercolor, but it's actually done with water-based markers, just Crayola markers that you probably have around your house. So let's get started and we'll create some art. We're going to work on this mixed media half portrait today. I'm going to show you a really cool website that I found that will teach you how to draw your face. And then we're going to use materials that you have around your house that you might have to create the work of art that you like to do. All the supplies are listed right here, the supplies that I use with this project. I used copy paper for the face. I glued that to a black construction background. The guide that you see on this page can be found on the website, and I'll give you a link for that. And then I just used water-based markers, Sharpie markers, glue, water scissors. I used an old book page and sheet music. You can use whatever you like to create your art. This is the guide I found on artprojectsforkids.org. It's really easy to follow. If you go to that website, you can download and print out this copy and follow it, or you can just use it from this slide. So you fold your paper in half on the long side, then you fold it in half again, you fold that in half one more time. When you open that paper, you're going to see the creases on the page. Those are what you're going to use as your guide. You'll start at number 1 and just follow the instructions. Finish your drawing by following the guide. You can add your name to the side like Matthew did on the sample, or you can create something completely different. This is how I completed my drawing. Now, after completing the drawing, I outlined it with a Sharpie marker so that it would be easier to see. You can color your page using whatever you'd like to use. I used water-based markers because the color is very bright, but you can use crayons, colored pencils, anything you'd like. Cut the face out and then glue it to the black construction paper or cardstock. The next part was done using white construction paper. You could use cardstock, newspaper, anything that you'd like to use actually. So I took water-based markers and I just scribbled on the page. For one of those pages, I tore sheets from my book page and my sheet music and glued them onto the construction paper before I scribbled on them. After that, I used water and squirted water, sprayed water all over those pages, and then let it sit for just a little bit. If you move the pages around just a bit, you'll see the water moves the marker. It turns it into watercolor, and it will flow across the page. After that, I took some salt, and I used kosher salt, which has bigger grains, and sprinkled it in the wet paint. Now, you'll need to let that sit there and dry for a bit, or use a hair dryer. You have to use it on a very low temperature. I'm sorry, a high temperature, but a low speed. You don't want that salt blowing all over your table. So you put the salt on there, and that absorbs some of the water and the paint. It makes really cool splotches in the paint. It gives it a lot of texture. All right, I completed my portrait by gluing torn pieces of paper from the watercolor paper that I had made. I decided to write words on there that I wanted to have on my picture. I put a mask on my portrait because that's how we are today. We're wearing masks and seeing masks on everybody. Now, the mask was really easy to make. I just took a piece of copy paper and laid it over the half portrait and just traced over the lines that were already there. And then I colored it, cut it out. Again, I traced around that with a Sharpie marker when I was finished so it would stand out. And then I glued that on my portrait. Then I took some words that I found and some text and some pages that I had and glued those on there. It was a really fun project. I hope you guys will have fun doing this. And don't forget to enter our Botetourt County Library Art Contest. I misspoke before. The deadline for this contest this year is October 30th, 2020. So be sure to do your artwork. The theme is self-portrait, so this is just right for that. Enter the contest. Be sure to check out the Botetourt County Library's webpage and find out lots of things that you can do at the library. Even though we can't do them in person, there's still a lot to be found on the Botetourt County Library's website. Thanks for watching.